Have you ever wanted to mace like this? Or maybe this? Or maybe even like this? Well, you came to the right place. Today, I'll be teaching you every technique and every strategy you need to achieve low tier 3 in MACE. Alright, so probably the best method of getting height in MACE is to use the alien wind charge. You can do this by first equipping your elytra, looking down, throwing a wind charge at a 90-degree angle straight down, and then right after throwing the wind charge, you look up about 45 degrees up into the air and just glide with your elytra. That way you'll gain a lot of height that you can easily use to dive bomb your opponent. It's also super cost effective as it only takes one wind charge to gain you all that height. First you throw one ender pearl straight up into the air, and followed you throw one wind charge straight up into the air, so the wind charge hits your pearl and it teleports you up. You can also start off by wind charging to gain height and then pearl catching to gain even more height. Please remember to only use this when you're in an exchange with someone, otherwise it's a waste of resources to just get up in the air. An alien wind charge is way better for this. Alright, so here's an example of a good pearl catch. Alright, so the way you attribute swap is by holding a sword and then right as you're about to attack, like on the last millisecond, you swap to your mace. This increases the damage by a lot and it lets you use the sword's cooldown instead of the mace's cooldown. Here's an example of what attribute swapping with a breach mace looks like. For comparison, this is the damage of the sword without breach swapping. So, unless you're trying to armor drain your opponent, which is very unlikely in low tier fights, breach swapping is usually the best course of action in ground. Now, over to density swapping. It's pretty much the exact same thing as breach swapping, but you just swapped your density mace instead. As you can see there, using a normal mace without swapping, it took 2 hits to pop the bot. But with swapping from a sword first, it only took 1. Now, we'll move on to the more moderate mechanics, which are slightly harder to perform. Alright, so what you want to do is you want to attack with your axe and then quickly swap to your mace so you can perform a smash attack with your mace to deal a lot of damage and also breaking their shield in the same attack. The most common mistake in stun slamming gotta be when people swap to the mace way too fast. But let me tell you something, there's a way to bypass this. By holding another item first and then swapping to your axe before you disable the shield, you create a tick lock with the axe, meaning that you're guaranteed to disable their shield without swapping to the mace. Alright, so there are a lot of good stun slam methods, such as right clicking, butterfly clicking, double clicking. But in my opinion, they're all pretty good, but there's one that's way better. And that would be toe clicking. Yeah, you heard me. Yeah, it sounds kind of weird, but essentially you just get a second mouse and then you position it at your feet and you click with it at the same time as you click your hand mouse. So you only have to click once with your hand and once with your feet, and that makes stun slamming so much easier if you just learn the timing of the hotkeys. It might take like 1 day to get used to, like, I promise you gotta try it out, man. Like, butterfly clicking, right clicking, they're all good, but like this gotta be the easiest one and the most effective one. And just don't single click, whatever you do, don't do that. Alright, so now over to elytra stun slamming. Honestly, in my opinion, it's just so much easier than normal. Like, I don't know, you can just control your speed so much easier, and it just is easier, man. I don't know what to tell you, like, it's just easier. I don't know. Although it looks very challenging and difficult to perform what I'm doing in the clip, I promise you, if you just practice a few hours a day for like maybe a week, you'll be pretty good at stunslamming. Maybe not that good, but like, if you're committed, you can do it. Like, you don't have to be like a Marlowe or Calais Mortimer Elmeris or anyone to just stun slam. It's really not hard. It looks hard, but I promise you, you can get it. Alright, yeah, but honestly, with a lighter stun slamming, just think about the gliding down. Then, when you're a bit above them, you just right click your elytra, you drop down, and you do your regular stun slam, preferably with the feet method, by the way. Always use the feet method. And yeah, I'll put the bot map, the one I'm using there in the video, in the description. There are multiple different dodges, such as the alien wind charge dodge, which is just the same thing as performing an alien wind charge. Then there's this other dodge, I honestly don't know what it's called, but it's just like jumping up with a elytra with a wind charge, and you hold your shield. You should mainly use this if your opponent is like flying really fast and they're trying to stun slam you. Alright, and then last but not least, wait, actually, no, this one's the least. Okay, so this is like a decent dodge, but you shouldn't use it too much against high tier players, especially in Marlowe kits, because you don't have too many pearls. But you just throw a pearl, it's really simple. Most pros can counter this by double dive bombing you though, so just keep that in mind. Just the alien wind charge dodge, just like it's better in almost every scenario. Yeah, and then if you know what you're doing, you can like pearl catch to dodge, but I wouldn't recommend doing this unless you know you can get a free hit on them, because it just puts you in a really bad spot, and it can be like, I don't know, they can just exploit you if you do that, bro. Now, this is where you're gonna learn the stuff that actually gets you to low tier 3. So we'll start off with the BLT, or Banana Leaf Block Tech, or Torpedo Wind Charge, or Elmeris Tech. I don't know, it has like a million names, it doesn't matter. Alright, but enough with the names. How do you actually do this? Well, you gotta pearl catch, but when you're doing it, you gotta be flying down with your elytra equipped, and then the second you get teleported, butterfly click the wind charge into hitting your hitbox, so it explodes inside of you and you get a huge speed boost. Here's me doing it on this poor fella IQ'd. Alright, so here I pop him and it's right after this. See, you heard the wind charge explode. That's how you know it works, and you can also see me move at really high speeds. Yeah, so this one takes like maybe a bit of time to master, but like honestly it's pretty good. Like you should probably learn it if you want to play air. I don't know, if you want to play ground, just don't do this, but then just why are you even like following this guy? This is for air. Like hello, bye. Alright, so for this we got the double dive bomb. It's like one of the best techniques that like almost any pro can even fall for. So you just go for a normal dive bomb, you know, you fly really fast, but then as you're about to hit them, like maybe 20 blocks above them, you know they're about to dodge, so you pearl catch up again and you start diving. This way you can like counter wind charge dodging, but just like jumping up that no one really does, and then you can dodge the pearls, you know, everything, bro. Just the pearls are just cooked if you use this method. Like I swear, like this is gonna be one of the best techs. It's pretty hard to do because you have to click really fast, but for this I again recommend toe clicking. I just have 2 feet on my mouse and then I click the right click when I go pearl catch, and then boom, it's super easy. Like you just do it, bro. Probably like the one con with this, that it's pretty easy to mess up, and if you mess it up it can be punished pretty easily. See, like you can throw the pearl too early and then it goes off to the side and it doesn't get caught, or you can hit the ground and you won't have your speed when you get teleported up. You know, there's all sorts of things you can mess up, but if you're just like good, you'll just hit them, bro. Like trust me. Now to pearl grappling. Honestly, I could have put this in the moderate technique area, but I consider this like hard enough for you to actually struggle a bit. So it's pretty easy. You just like, or simple, I don't know if it's easy. You just throw the pearl at the opponent to get teleported up to them when they're already in the air, so you can breach swap them to do as, to what it called. It's like a chain, yeah, chain hits with breach miss. It's pretty good. If they're going upwards, you wanna aim the pearl slightly above them. If they're falling, slightly under them. Yeah, it's pretty simple. That's about it. I don't have much to say. Alright, so now for the diagonal pearl catch. What you want to do is you just like throw the pearl normally, but just to the side, and you look slightly down and throw a wind charge super fast after. You cannot like wait, it's gotta be pretty fast. This is also easier if you're moving forwards or backwards. It just makes the timing easier and the aiming easier, just easier. You should mainly use this to catch your opponent off guard or after you've hit them to get them from the side. I don't know, I don't use this too much because I'm not the best at it, but like, you know, it's good to know. Alright, but yeah, anyway, I hope you learned something new from this video. And like, if you got me with a follow, wait, what? No, I meant subscribe. Yeah, you gotta subscribe and like. And I also got this like YouTube thing, like SMP. It's called Limitless SMP. I'll leave one of the videos here on the screen if you want to watch that. Feel free to. But yeah, I know you got me with a sub, right?